Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, everybody had a green, fantabulous day. Who do I have in here with me? Who's that? Is that Christina or Chris?
Hey there, what's up?
What's up?
It's
How are you?
Chris. It's Raponage.
How
Oh,
are
doing
you,
good.
my bud?
I'm doing all right. Let me close my door real quick. My kids just came home. Sorry about that. Hey, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I relaxed. I grilled some Beyond Burgers, which, is against my raw diet right now. But, hey, you got to venture out and be a little crazy once in a while. How was your weekend?
Hey, if you want some things that can fit your raw diet, I mean, you could always go with the raw hamburger. Just saying.
No. And the funny thing, okay, what's ironic about this whole thing is that at one point I used to eat raw hamburger,
Oh, that's
like
gross.
tartare.
No.
Yeah, tartare. Oh yeah, dude. I would throw some ketchup in there, cut up some onion, throw some salt and pepper in there, and sit there and eat it like it was guacamole.
That just makes me want to vomit.
That's disgusting, right?
Yes.
Is that not disgusting? Right now, to think of me doing that, I would probably throw up in my mouth.
Oh.
So yeah, because there's no way I'd put dead flesh in my mouth, cooked or otherwise, ever again. I haven't since 2020. So I'm like, okay, but hey, I got it from a parent. My grandmother used to do it. She'd make us hamburgers and she'd just break off just a little piece and she'd eat it. And she gave me a little piece when I was like a kid. And that's just, every now and then she would do that. And that's how it even started. And as I grew up, it wasn't like I was eating mounds of it, but I would do that from time to time if I would cook like hamburger or something. Yeah. So, but now, no, 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 no.
No, I could never do that. I mean, I like my
It's a delicacy. That's the crazy thing. It's steak tartare. They sell it as a delicacy, like basically raw ground beef. They had a scene from it in the movie Wall Street. Remember when Bud Fox and Gecko meet up in the restaurant?
never seen it.
You never saw, dude. That's
Wait,
sacrilegious.
hold on? Did you say Wolf of Wall Street?
No, Wall Street with Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen. The original Wall Street movie of Wall Street movies.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh my God, that's like the Godfather of Wall Street movies, dude.
What's it called? It's just the
They make movies based off of that movie. It's called Wall Street.
Is that the old '80s movie that I'm looking? I'm looking it up.
Yes. It should have Charlie Sheen flanked by Daryl Hannah and Michael Douglas.
And this is clearly going to teach me the ultimate strategies of trading, right?
It's going to teach you the ultimate strategies of how to go to hell to jail for insider trading. You want to learn how to do insider trading? That's your movie.
Have you watched the movie or the TV show Billionaire?
I have not.
It's about a trader. There's a trader group, and there's a guy who is an FBI agent, and basically this FBI agent is set out to get this trader group because the leader of this trader group used to have or has a relationship with his wife or used to have a relationship with his wife, and he is just set out to get him. And like the whole premise of it is, this trader group tries, quote unquote, to do things on the up and up, but he's trying to find a way. He knows that they're doing stuff on the down low, and so he's trying to find them and figure out how to get them. Really, really, because of this love relationship with his wife.
Really, and here's the thing. There's another movie called Boiler Room, right? Have you ever heard of that? That is a movie that sounds similar to this. This is a kid he's a Jersey kid who went to college. He was going to college, and he dropped out because it was basically not exciting enough for him. So he ends up running a full-time casino out of his apartment and ends up clocking so much money that, I mean, these kids, he has it open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So around the clock, kids are in his house. He's got these two blackjack tables back to back, and he's running one, and he's got people that he has hired running one, and he's paying them, and he's making tons of money. He's paying one of the guys working for him $50K, if that gives you any insight to how much money he was making.
Lots of money.
So yeah, so he ends up, somebody comes in one night that used to, I guess when they were in school, used to come there, and the guy that came there was what is his name? The guy that used to say oh my God, Jamie Kennedy, played Malibu's Most Wanted, right? Jamie Kennedy, I guess, used to hang out there. So he shows up one night with another guy, and they're all suited down, and he lets them in, and come to find out, Jamie Kennedy's character is now a stock trader. And the guy who brought him is the guy whose team he's on, right? Or he's friends with him. And they're convincing Seth, who is the main character, yeah, stop this card dealing shit. You know, you're going to get pinched before long. Why don't you come trade stocks with us, right? So his dad's a judge on top of everything else, and he's doing illegal gambling, right? And in his father's eyes, he's the screw up all the time, right? So he decides, okay, I'm going to make an honest living. I'm going to go be a stock trader and make my dad proud. Well, he gets in there, and keep in mind, this kid's a financial genius. He ran a casino that was killing it for a couple years, right? So he's obviously pretty smart. He gets in there, and like your guy in this other movie, he figures out that this place is a boiler room. It's a chop shop. And he's like, oh, shit. And I'm already in with these guys, because he got in pretty deep with them because he was smart. He ended up being so good at trading stocks that he became good at the chop. He took people's money, and his dad found out about it. And then it's so funny because it references Wall Street a couple times in the movie. There's a scene where he walks in one of the main characters' house, the guy that recruited him from coming in with the table with with Jamie Kennedy. He recruited him. They go to his house. He's got this $1 million house, and they're all watching Wall Street, quoting it line for line. Everybody's taking a turn saying different lines. And it's like, wow, these guys are watching fucking Wall Street. You know what I mean? And quoting lines from the movie. And I knew the lines as well. I'm saying it with them. So long story short, you know, he finds out how, because of he ran his business, how the guy who ran the chop shop was making his money. He figured out where he hid it when he was making it. He figured out where the guy would shut down shop and move to if he got caught. And so, to make a long story short, at the end of Wall Street, Charlie Sheen's character gets busted. Michael Douglas busts his cherry, teaches him how to be an insider trader, and he goes to jail for it. But he gets a light sentence because he turns Michael Douglas in. Well, in Boiler Room, Seth gets caught by the FBI, and they say, "Listen, we'll make you a deal if you turn in the chop shop." So it's the two movies are very intricately tied. So you should watch Wall Street first, then watch Boiler Room. If you like trading movies, those are two for the archives right there.
Let's write this down right now. So Boiler Room and then Wall Street.
Now watch Wall Street first. That's the granddaddy.
All right, Wall Street and the Boiler Room. Boiler Room sounds really familiar. Did Coach was that one of Coach's movies that you said to watch?
You know what? I mentioned it too, Coach. He says he's seen it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I'll write them down. I'll have to watch them. So, you know, the wife and I were always looking for something, you know, that we could watch. So it's a good little thing. I can sit down with her and watch it. I'll have to see.
Be sure to watch Wall Street first and then Boiler Room. Tell me what you think of them. I'm so curious.
You know, my wife's got to be getting so, annoyed at the fact that I've always got this stock stuff going on. My my desk, right, is actually in our room, right, in our bedroom, and so it's where I do my work. It's where I also do trading and stuff like. So I I I I gotta love this woman is a godsend because I get up and she's still asleep. She sleeps until usually at least 7:45 or until the kids get up or 8, and I'm turning this stuff on like at start getting up around I'll turn everything on around 7. So she's been getting up about an hour early each day and barely sleeps, having 3 kids. So she's a godsend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bless
Uh,
her.
so how was your trading week? I kind of said I don't know if you were in the meeting here the other day how mine went. I'll share a little bit today, kind of what I've been
Okay.
learning. But what are you? How was your week last week, and how did you go? How did you do today?
I did not trade today because I don't know if you heard earlier, I lost my phone.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
I
right.
Yeah, I do all my trading, I do all my video editing, everything on the phone. Before I say anything else, welcome everybody. Chris and I just got to jibber jabber and I forgot. Hey, well, I see everybody down in the chat. Vaughn, Linda, Vegan Knowledge, JJ. Love you guys. I think we got Ralph in here with us. And who is the other person?
It say
It says a
Vincent.
V.
It say
Oh,
Vincent.
Vincent. Hey, Vincent. Vincent and Ralph. How you guys doing? Ralph, I missed you on Twitter. I haven't had my phone, dude.
Yeah, I heard
Doing good. How
you
about
lost it at the
yourself?
beach.
Yeah. Hey, I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. I was pretty depressed Saturday when I realized that my phone was long gone. And we didn't really have the funds to get another one, but an angel is in my corner. Um, So yeah, that I thank you again to helping out with that. So I ordered it today, and I will go ahead and get that tomorrow, and hopefully I can hit the iCloud and get all my shit back on it that was on it, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you should be able to get
yeah,
everything back. My brother-in-law lost so many phones that it's unreal.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I've never lost my phone. I've dropped it and damaged it and had to replace it because I have the insurance, but I've never lost it or had it stolen. Knock on, well, now it's already happened. So, but it was a lost steal because by the time I realized that I had dropped it, it wasn't in the street, banged up or anything. So obviously somebody stole it, somebody took it. So, but yeah, this weekend was a crazy weekend. But then I remembered it's replaceable. A human being is not. A phone is. It's like get over yourself already. You know what I mean? So, go, calm your mind. Maybe the universe is trying to tell you step away for a minute and remember what's really important in life, and then go back to what you were doing. So I did. But did you trade today, Ralph?
I trade every day. I'm addicted. I
Oh,
trade every day.
yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I
I was
do.
watching Apple, even though I didn't trade today. I was watching Apple big time because I'm so bought in and so glad to have the help from Coach and David. And you, Ralph, you also helped me a lot with a lot of different things. So I appreciate that. Vincent, did you trade today?
I
I'm
don't
still
know if he
doing
can hear
paper
me. Oh, there
trading.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's a
I'm still
let me
doing.
get
Yeah, I'm still doing paper trading. I've only been part of ADT since July. Still trying to grasp
well,
everything, listening
welcome.
to everybody, trying to pick up pointers here and there.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Welcome.
real good. So you've
Well,
been
I'll
how
tell you,
you
Coach has some good strategies, and David and Eric and Bruno, those are good guys to listen to. Lee, Ted comes in there, Mancini comes in there and has good stuff to say.
Yeah, I
so
Go
picked
ahead,
up a
listen,
lot.
Ralph. You were about to say
uh
I
something?
picked up a lot so far.
you say
Yeah,
you've been paper trading since July? What month we in now? Oh, September.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how long that is? 3 months?
about 3 months. Well,
Well,
about
it
two,
don't it don't
because
matter.
really
I
the
just
full
want to
month
talk
is
about
July. Yeah.
it. Don't matter. I just want to talk
I
about the
signed up in the
move from
middle of
paper to
July,
the live.
so basically,
A
The
month and a half.
Yeah, listen. So
yeah.
look, the move from paper to live. All right. Um, like I don't know your financial situation, and I don't need to know it. I just need to tell you, like, don't go all in. You know what I'm saying? Start out small. Start out with a small amount first, because the live is not gonna be the same as the paper. Okay, but the paper trading is the right thing to do. You know, you just want to get the feel of it first, because it's gonna be most of the same, but it is gonna be different. So start small, and then ease your way into it, because like a lot of people do that. Like that's a mistake that a lot of people make. They come from paper, and like the paper give you, I don't want to say it give you a false sense. Like it's just it's different. The paper to the live is just different. I mean, the only people that I've heard say that paper trading is the same as live trading is the ones who never live traded. You know what I'm saying? And then whenever they start live trading, they change their mind. So, don't go all in. Just, start with a really small amount, and then just treat it as a glorified paper account. And then you move up
Yeah,
when you feel comfortable.
I've learned that from listening. I've learned that from listening to not to start with the big amount, because that's only going to trick me into thinking that that's what I can use when I go to real money. But I know now that I need to start small, because when I do switch over to real money, those are the same amounts that I'm going to be using.
Right. Uh-huh. But not only that, they got different things, so, like the stop losses are different, the entries are different, the slippage is there. I mean, the live market, it has so many different things that the paper emotions is involved. You know, so the best thing to do is just start out small. You don't want to, you know, be like, I was killing it. You don't want to be the one that was like, I was killing it on paper, and then now I don't know what happened. So just
I
ease your
got it.
way
Thanks,
into
Ralph.
it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah.
Ralph, you said something. You said I'm addicted to trading, and so you do it every day. I totally feel you. I was actually, before I jumped in here, just sitting back because it also explain kind of what's been going on in me with me and my trading and my woes. Not good news, but good news. Um, that right before I jumped in, saying I need to take maybe one day a week, maybe take it every maybe every other week or something like that, and just take a day and not trade and just watch and make the calls and really look at the market. Because what I'm learning for myself is I'm really good about being able to see, okay, go in here, get out here, go in here if I'm not in a trade. But if I'm in a trade, it gets really really hard to be
Mhm.
able to track both with the stress and the emotion and stuff that gets around it. Um, and so for me, I'm sitting back saying, if I would be willing to give myself a little more leeway and at least take a day off and just look at it, I think it would help me improve. Just looking at the market and not trading.
It helped me today
Yeah,
to
that's
be
what I
able
was
to
just
sit
about to
back
say.
and look at it. It really did. It because when Robinhood would started giving me that password bullshit, I'm like, okay, well, it's obvious I'm not going to be able to trade today, and it killed me because I clearly saw Apple rising, and I was able to get it was started a 2 minute EWO and everything. It was like, oh my god, this is perfect, and I am missing it. But you know what? I can't get in, and there's a reason for it. It must mean I'm just supposed to sit here and watch what's happening and learn and chill out and think, what would you do? And that's what I did, and I've made a couple of successful trades just watching today. So that let me know a couple things. One is I got to really get a grip on the emotion. And two is, I'm better than I think I am if I just calm down and wait for the right setups.
I want to clear the air. I don't really trade every day. I listen to the group every day though. Like I don't trade every single day. Like I sit it out. If I don't feel like the market is working out, I sit it out. And then if I put on a couple of bad trades and they don't work out, I take the day off because I won't allow myself to lose more than 3% a day. Like the last time I lost 3% in one day is whenever I bought Pizza Hut and they had the earnings, and I decided to hold it overnight and it dropped like 20% and it drove like the account down and it barely went over the threshold. So basically, before I put the trade on, if the stop loss is gonna be take me over 3% for the day, I just don't take the trade. You know. Now, other stuff can happen to cause you to lose more than 3%, but that's the rules. I stick by them. You know.
It's a good rule to stick by. Coach came up with those rules and I'm imagining that he, after 30 years of trading, that's why he came up with those numbers. And I mean, it's a good rule to live by because it keeps you from blowing your account up. You need money to trade the next day, and if
Hmm.
you're blowing your account up, you're not going to allow yourself the wherewithal to fight another day.
Right.
So on that note, so last week I was doing really well at the beginning of the week. Okay, I did a 3x, then I did a 2x on Tuesday. Was doing really really well, and then I'm learning that I am not skilled in managing my emotions um, as it relates to trades, and that when I have something going on, either with the trades itself or with myself or family, then it's probably best for me not to jump in those trades until I can really control that. Um, so I was doing really, really well, and then some stuff happened with family, and I got some news that I wasn't too happy with. That just really set me off. And then from there, it was just a downward spiral of not following basic rules, basic mechanics, not following coach's rules, and I screwed myself, and I blew up my account. And I shouldn't have, and I know that what I did was way too risky. Went in way too large of places. When I wasn't in the emotional state, wasn't really following mechanics and that kind of stuff, and I screwed up big. And that's my fault, not a reflection on coach or him and what he does. It's just a matter of, gosh, I did not manage myself very well. But I took that as an opportunity to say, look, I've got to turn around and start really um, going back to the basics and really looking at coach's videos and watching his videos and um, going back on all the free videos that he's got on YouTube. American Dream Trading, a little shameless plug there. I even went through a whole bunch of those again, and then I went through all of the paid videos that we get as members for free. And I'm sitting there watching, and I realized, I mean, I have a hard time, sometimes with catching on different things. I caught on a lot of different things that I was missing that were fundamental stuff that if I had just if I known weeks back how much better it would have been for me as a trader, how much more equipped I would have been, a better understanding of EWO strategy, better understanding of charting and trending, but just all around a lot of really really great things that helped me. Of course, now I'm kind of in jail a little bit because I did that. I should have jumped in right away. Um, I'm going to give myself some time before I start rebuilding, and I'm going to keep watching videos, and I'm going to keep trying to really make sure I get myself down before I turn things around. But today,
That's a good
I
idea. I did a
yeah,
watch party Saturday on David's the fact that he had grouped a bunch of coaches' playlists together into different sections, and he came on with me and we critiqued a lot of them Saturday. So the
I was
first
listening.
Saturday of every month, I do that. You know what I mean? Just for new people and people who don't get a chance normally to watch them.
Yeah, I was listening, head down listening, but I was listening. You know, I tell you, I put it in the chat and the membership lounge, guys. For me to say this and be able to say I blew up my account, and be willing to admit that I'm struggling and I'm having issues, that's huge for me. And I am, you know, to be able to come in and say I'm having issues here and there, and I really need to step back. And for me, and I appreciate the flip side of people that say you're an idiot if you think paper trading, if you're not doing that on your own time to get better and that kind of. But for me to sit back and say I got to go back to paper trading is like a shame. It's a big shame for me. Okay, so
I still paper
it
trade.
shouldn't be. Even coach goes
I
back to
still
paper
paper
trading.
trade.
Yeah.
I know, but it shouldn't. I feel like I shouldn't need that, but I do.
Yeah, that's that leave the ego out of it thing right there, dude.
I know.
Yeah, you're not gonna get better unless you
ego
trade every day.
The ego was so hurt last week, and it
I
wasn't
know,
until
I keep it that way.
Yeah, it wasn't until I said, I've got to put the ego aside. It doesn't matter if you have an ego if you can't put it aside right now, anyways. Right now, what matters is there's a fundamental issue, and if you want this to work, you've got to figure out where that issue is, and you've got to go back to the mechanics, go back to the basics, figure out where you need to go, figure out what you're doing wrong, and then go back to coach's rules, get back on his strategies, and looking through his videos, and really understand what am I missing. And I'm so glad that I did. Because I would say there was not
on the same train. That's why I did that Saturday. That's why I'm kind of curled up under David's wing. I'm in that same state. I'm like, I was losing way too much money. I'm like, I got to take a step back. And it was so funny. The universe, you know how they say the universe supports you. I wanted to jump in trades. The universe had its way of saying, nope, even if I got to take your phone away, you are not trading right now, young lady. No, I've got to do something drastic. You have to trade. So no phone.
God had your wing there. I wish that would have happened to me. But some people, and I told you guys, I'm stubborn. I am a stubborn person. It takes a lot for me to see things the other way. I've learned a certain way, and I think there's a little bit of, you kind of have to fall sometimes so that way you can, pick things up and restart. How many times did have millionaires and billionaires failed? Big, everyone knows Colonel Sanders, right? How many times did he fail before he started becoming successful in his 70s and 80s, right?
Right.
And I'm seeing it now that this is just a little bit of a stepping stone, and I took some steps back, and it's hard for me, and it's hard for me to admit where I'm at. But if I don't admit it, I can't get help, and if I can't admit it to myself, I'm not going to be willing to do the training, and so I've got to stop there and start there.
Are you familiar with the book Think and Grow Rich?
What was that?
Are you familiar with the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
I've heard of the book. I think at one point I've looked at it, and I kind of already understood the fundamentals and didn't read it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Bible of sorts to motivational speakers who speak on, manifesting financial abundance and stuff like that. But he did not write that book until he was in his mid to late 40s, because up until that point, up until he got with Dale Carnegie, he was kind of a screw up a little bit. He was doing things here and there, but he didn't really find success until his late 40s. So it's never too late to accomplish something big in your life. Age is really just a chronological number. So when you say that, hey, I'm just now getting, it's okay, dude. Because a lot of us are going to not find success the way Jimmy and Brady did right off the top. It's going to take some of us months, years to get to that point. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's all right.
But it's just, it's hard for me still because it's like I've got all this other stuff. And this is the part where I'm talking about emotion and having those fears and emotions that get built into it. That I feel like for myself, I've got to figure out how to get away from and get around. And I'm still learning it. And it's not just about the losses. It's about me figuring out how to get around this emotional attachment, if you will, that holds me back a little bit, or at least use it to my advantage. And I'm looking back. I've got all I've got a family to worry about that I'm really concerned. Where are we going to be? What's going to happen here soon? May not have a job for much longer. That weighs down on me. And then there's like, I was really successful at trading crypto. I was able to get that sucker up, $450,000, $500,000, and then I was able to blow it all, right, and lose everything. And that's my downside is I have all this baggage, if you will, that I have to figure out how to turn it into strengths. And that's what I'm learning to do. It's real hard to see. I was doing so good, both back then and as of last week, and then bam, you fall and it's a million steps back, and it's like, all right, where do I go from here? What did I do wrong? What's going on? And really trying to get into everything.
Do you keep a trade journal?
Well, and that's one thing that I keep a lot of stuff in my head, and
All right,
that's
so
bad.
yeah, you're gonna have to. That's a good place to start right there. You can start. You
But
say you don't know where to start.
I hate writing, man.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to put the pen to the paper. I'm telling you, you find all the problems in the journal.
That's why I asked David for his spreadsheet info, because I feel like maybe I can use that.
You say you have 3 kids. You say you had 3 kids. Any one of them in school?
Yep. Nope. The 2 of them just got into preschool. One of them's a.
All right, so y'all had to go get school supplies, right? Just pick you up one of them. It don't even have to be nothing fancy, It just need to be paper, pen. Write the trades down. How you felt in them. What happened? Write down your strengths. Write down your weakness. Trust me, I was anti-journal. I never kept a journal before in my life. I mean, I have here and there, but I didn't think it worked. That's what I'm saying. Like I keep everything in my head. Listen, the journal will give you the answer. I'm telling you, it works.
Well, and that's why I asked David for his stuff, because I felt like I could his spreadsheet stuff, because I felt like I could go through and maybe use that. And one thing I really need to track is, okay, what was your in one of the videos, he said, track what your emotion was on that trade. Why'd you get in? Why'd you get out? What were your fears? And that kind of hit me. And then I was like, well, that's smart, because if I'm having this issue here, then maybe I should really be tracking that and looking to see.
Yeah, you should, because David's spreadsheet is not going to tell you any of that.
That's what I was just about to hit him with next, Don, but you can get him. Go ahead.
David's spreadsheet is not going to help you with that emotion. And you like tough love, because I hear you giggle every time we give it to you. You already know this stuff deep down inside. I know you do. But sometimes you just need to hear it again from somebody else just to confirm, you know what? Yeah, that is what I should be. David's spreadsheet isn't going to help you a hill of beans until you get your emotions in check. And I'm the same way. I'm looking at the Apple chart that he sent, and I'm like, okay, what are you looking at his lines for? You need to learn how to do the lines for yourself. David's lines aren't going to help you. David put the time in, and you can see where he basically saw where Apple was going to fall each of those times based on the history. But how is that, aside from seeing the levels and kind of giving you a call out, how's that going to help you? Do you know how he got those lines? You know, are you listening to Coach when he says areas of a consolidation create critical levels and then marking them in for yourself? No, you're not. So how the hell's David's spreadsheet going to help me? You know what I mean? Unless I learn how to put those figures in the spreadsheet for myself.
Yeah.
You know, you and I
and that's the other thing. And you bring up a good point is you know, I have learned too that I need to be graphing and charting not just the large trends, but as the day goes by.
Yeah.
That's like a fundamental area that I was saying that I realized, like, well, sure, I might have charted everything on a bigger picture, and I might have gotten my pre-market highs, pre-market lows, and sure, I can easily look to see what's the trend for the day. But on a thing like SPY, where you're literally just in a channel for the last week, which really ate me up, you know, that's you have to be tracking all of it, your resistance and your support and drawing lines on a not only a as the day goes by, but on an hourly, on a you know, bi-hourly, on a
But
30
you know
minute,
what?
whatever
What's
you
just
need.
as important though, what's just as important though, is what Ralph said. Charting the trades is important up front and during trading. But afterwards, you gotta chart your feelings, bud. You gotta chart your emotions. You gotta what you did in those trades to fuck up.
If you had the
Because
journal, you would know that SPY is too hard to start out with. Like SPY is
or
a
you
tough.
would have seen, and
That's
wait a minute, look at
that's a
that
tough.
candle right there. Why did I get in that put when that was a call all day long?
And Ralph, you bring up a point there. So SPY. Here's the reason I trade SPY.
It's hard.
I have studied
You
SPY
like
for
a
years
challenge?
because I did Bitcoin. So I understand where it's going, what it does. Probably better, definitely better than somebody that was just coming in and trading. And so I'm comfortable with it because I understand. Now the problem for me is unrealistic expectations on growth, because SPY doesn't trade like Bitcoin. Bitcoin trades like SPY. And so you've got to kind of you know, really look at those have a bit more realistic expectation on the levels of like what you can expect from percentage increases.
All right, so yeah, let's talk about that right there. It's not possible to blow an account unless you over leverage the account. Is that a true statement?
100%.
Okay, the reason why your emotions is so like out of whack or whatever, you know, at least the reason why you feeling this is the position is too big. That's just the bottom line, you know. If it was a smaller position, you know, it wouldn't hit so hard, you know, if you will.
I like what you do about separating the accounts, Ralph, where you say, hey, I'm doing $1 a day, and when that adds up, I like that, bro. And I separate it. And any money you make, take it out and start back with the same amount that you had and keep those accounts separate. If I'm trading with snack money, that's it. Rent money, money, no more of that.
Until you learn, you don't need to be putting no more. What you gonna give it to the? You might as well give it to us. We're your friends. You're gonna give it to a suit and tie. You know, I mean, I'm not about to give my money to a suit and tie. No way.
So there's a so yeah, I mean, I putting more realistic expectations on profit and that kind of stuff are important. I have a bunch of woes that I could sit about all day as to explain what happened, and I went back and I looked through and I said, well, here's what happened. Okay, first off, I'm using Robinhood, and Don, you're saying you use Robinhood, so warning here. Okay, now you probably have less issues with it than me, but Robinhood, you don't put a stop in when you first put an order in. So if you're not putting a stop in when you first put it, with Robinhood, it can go instantly against you. Robinhood is very basic, and I used it because it was there. That's where my money was at, and that was what bit me this week. is going in too large
Mhm.
and really thinking I knew what it was doing and what was going on, and being wrong because
You
I
know
wasn't
something
looking at
too?
everything.
When I was online with Robinhood, and I see you Zen and I see you Madman, welcome guys. When I was on Robinhood online today, Robinhood.com, and trying to trade, I noticed that in Apple, when they thought I was just buying shares before I switched over to the options tab, I noticed that you could set a stop at the beginning of that trade. It said, what kind of order do you want to do? Stop limit, market, stop
Really?
loss
I
order,
didn't know that.
trailing stop. I didn't either.
I
And
never
I'm like,
looked
do they
at it.
not
I
have
mean,
that
I
on the
never looked
phone
at
app?
the.
Yeah, it was with shares, dude. Not with
Yeah.
options, but with
Well,
shares,
there you go.
they
That's
gave you
why.
that
I mean,
option.
yeah. See, you can do that with. I'm a lot of places you can do that with shares, but not necessarily options. Like Webull, you can do it with
Mhm.
options. Um, so what I'm trying to do right now is get set up so that I can actually use Webull, but Webull's not approving me for options.
Oh,
So
that
I've got to
sucks.
figure.
But you don't they
Yeah,
have something online that you can look at to get past? I mean,
I
to
did
help
it.
you
I
answer that.
looked at it. I just filled it out, and then they didn't approve it. So I now it's just pending application.
Yeah, you
We'll
answered a
see.
question wrong in there somewhere.
Yeah,
They should
exactly.
give you
Now
a
they're
second chance, though, right?
yeah. Well, I
I don't
tried.
know.
We'll
They
see.
do after a while. If you answer it wrong, because I think the first time I did it wrong and they gave it like a week, and then I was able to, or no, like 48 hours, and then I was able to go back in and then get approved.
Yeah. Well,
It
I'll have
trading
to
options with Robinhood, it isn't impossible, but it's harder. You know.
exactly. So I had like that going against me, and then I've got so I'm not getting stop losses in there right away. If I don't have a stop loss in right away, what's the odds it'll actually put it in there? Then I didn't put the stop loss in or didn't get it right, or I put
Yeah,
it
they
in
got a
there and
funky
it
way of
flew
putting it
past
together.
me. Miguel, thanks for the heads up on that. I didn't know that. I may be on the third time today. We'll see. I should have. We'll see. Didn't know that part. Um, so my next step may be if I can't get Webull, I'll try setting up see if Thinkorswim does it. Um, but that's like the big thing for me. If I'm not getting it in there, it's I'm not getting it's just going to blow past me. I'm losing money, and then I'm breaking all kinds of other rules with that. And so I could go over and over all day long about the things I was doing wrong. But this weekend was all about studying, figuring out what I did wrong, and then being willing to turn around and admit it and accept it, turn around and fix it. Because
The
if I can't,
candlestick book is my best friend this week.
what's that book
I'm
about?
well. That is don't trade. Don't what's the title of it? Wait a minute.
These
Hold on.
14 candles, don't trade until you know these 14 candles or something like
14
that.
candles. Yep.
I
Don't
used to.
trade
Who was the
until you know
author?
these
It got an
14.
author. He's like
Hold
walking
on, I
with a
got the
suit
book right
on.
here. I have it on Kindle because that's how I can read it, but I actually
Right,
ordered
that's
the
how I
book.
got it.
Hold on.
I don't have the real book though.
Okay, the author is P. Arul Pandey.
Yeah, I knew it was
P,
something.
the initial, and then Arul Pandey. And it's Don't Trade Before Learning These 14 Candlestick Patterns. That's the name of the book. And that book is so huge with teaching you, the logistics of the candlestick, and how it forms patterns, what it actually is, the significance of the colors, the significance of the shapes of the candlesticks. And if you learn that, then it'll help you in real time, because the question you asked earlier when we were in the Zoom call about the EWO versus the candlesticks up top. Well, the EWO is awesome if you're going to be in that trade long term, but the candlesticks tell you real time what's actually going on in the trade. So you want to be looking at both. And if you know the candlesticks backwards and forwards, I mean, they could still do any kind of crazy shit, but if you know them backwards and forwards, you'll hear a coach say, see, look at that. It's a doji. What does a doji mean? That one video of mine that's my favorite, where he's like, see how this is pushed down, where it's got a bunch of wick at the top, and a little bit of body at the bottom. See how this pushed down? See, that's your signal right there that it's going to change. And look at this one and look at that one. And then boom, it ran you right over. It's beneficial to learn what those candlesticks look like and what they mean when they look like that. Because I remember when I first read it, and I still to this day have not finished it. That's why it's my best friend this week, because I'm like, seriously, you need to freaking get that book down. But just a few that I learned in the beginning, I thought I knew what the hell I was doing. I'm like, oh, that's a doji, that means this. And I was right. Every time I said, I'm like, oh, that's this. That means it's going to do that. Holy shit, it did it. So there's some truth to it. So yeah, everybody kept saying, Zen was one of the people that was always saying, get that 14 candlestick book. It's golden. So I see why.
Do you mind?
And then there's another
one,
one, Candlestick Bible.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon too.
Hey, do you mind posting that in the membership lounge?
We have those.
It's
books
actually one of
listed.
the ebooks.
Those
Yeah,
books
Coach
are
has them
listed.
listed under the ebooks.
Oh, it's one of those books. Okay, yes, got it.
Read all those books, and if I may, and I'm going to make this short. I gotta leave in a little bit, but to the gentleman that's having a frustration, with your trading, man, I come from the same land of the crypto unicorns, where in one day I made over $200,000, and then a year later, all that money was gone, with the exception of some money that I took out for other things for my personal use. One of the major issues that I found with myself and listening to you, it's like it's almost like you're the voice in my head, because you're having the same freaking problems that I had. I came from Robinhood. It took me a while to get used to Webull, and when I mean a while, it took me months to really get down the mechanics to adapt to that type of trading, because Robinhood just sucks. It's not made for professional trading. That's the first thing. The second thing that I feel is that when you come from that unicorn magical land, you think that you know how to trade, but I didn't know how to trade. I was lucky, and I think a lot of us that come from there, we were lucky. We just happened to be at the right time, at the right place, with the right amount of money, and we were lucky, because had I known how to trade, so that's the other thing. And then the last thing is, I totally respect where you're coming from, in the sense that, you don't like writing. I hate writing. I was never very good at school. That was never something for me. But listen to the coach 100%, and read all those books and watch all his videos, because when I first jumped in this group was the first time that I stopped bleeding and hemorrhaging money. Since then, I've been able to make money and not just lose money all the time. So I think you got what it takes, because I hear the determination in your voice, and I think you're going to definitely find your path. But allow the teachings of this group, and allow what people tell you to do, allow that to sink in. And sometimes it's hard when you're stubborn like me, and like you're saying you're stubborn. Dude, I hear you. It's hard. But I promise you, if you allow the information to soak into your brain, and start following the rules, start journaling, just get your head down, get rid of that ego, and really listen to what people are telling you, you're going to find it, because it's there. It's been working for me, and I've 300% my account since May. And so it's not a huge account, but little by little, I've been doing it, and this is what I've been focused on. It's the first time since the crypto run that I've actually been able to make money with a consistent basis. So take it for what it's worth, and I wish you all the luck. But
That is awesome.
Mhm.
Shout out to everybody down in the chat: Vaughn, Linda L, Kurt Cook, Miranda, Vegan Knowledge, Miguel. I see you guys over there. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. Yeah, it's and the funny thing is, oh, Eric Smoto in the house. Let's go, Eric. I see you, baby. Air Twister. Is that Aunt Annie? That's funny. Danny Hobbs, I see you, bud. Just wanted to say hi to everybody. Portuguese Flying Stew. Who is that? Portuguese Flying Stew. What's up, Brad James? I see you, bud. Yeah, all of this doesn't mean jack. The more we were talking about it just a few minutes ago, the more I realized, if I'm not, journaling and knowing what I was doing in those trades, that's part of why David is so successful, because he talks about journaling a lot. I know Coach preaches that to us. Coach had the little notebook. It's like I got it sitting right next to me with my pen. And if he's doing it, what the hell makes me think that I don't need to be doing it? And I do it on and off. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it. And I never get to it. And some days I'm like, damn it, I lost too much money. I need to journal. I'll be good at it for 2 days and then I'll stop. You know what I mean? So it's like I've got to figure out, which I have, because I finally did start doing it consistently, what I was doing in these trades. That's what's really going to help us moving forward. If you see what you did wrong and you know how to correct it, and you paper trade the correct way to do it, or get into a smaller real trade where you're not losing a bunch of money, and you practice the mechanics that you need not to make that mistake, that's huge. It's like I feel like we all have this stuff sitting right in front of us, and we're not, I'm one of the biggest culprits, and we're not grasping a hold of it, because it's like right there.
Yep.
Hey, Madman, what's up, baby? You there? I think that's Madman Cox, right?
Oh, you were talking about journaling. So, it's funny because as I was sitting there, I was after watching that video and talking about, journaling emotion while you're doing in those trains from David. I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, like, is there a book that, like a journaling book that I could find that I could easily just mark that up? I can't find anything where I could just check a box, write the numbers down, write down kind of the info David had, and be able to get all that info.
Well,
something? There's a guy in the chat.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah, there's a guy in the chat named Carnuts that had a notebook page where he had written entry, exit, strike price, what I paid, and what was my profit or loss. And it was just a notebook sheet that he had drawn these lines and made these little sections and then just filled in the blanks. I did that, and that worked wonders for me. And then under it, he had what he was feeling in the trade.
Excuse me, Don. Lee, join the group. Come on, Lee. I see Lee.
Lee is in here?
Yep.
Lee Shan, how the hell are you, bud? Get your ass up here. If you go into the description of the video, there is a link to join the chat. There's a link to tip the host. There's a link to join American Dream Trading. And there's also a link to Coach's YouTube channel. So everything is in the description of this video, guys. If you want to come up here, you can go click that link and come right on up. Lee's awake at this time of night? Come on. This is so cool.
I couldn't believe it. But yeah, that trade journal, I just use a regular basic I write down my thoughts. I write down the trades, and how much they was, what I need to do, what I don't need to do, and then sometimes it's just really simple.
Mm-hmm.
And, but
Hey, I'm looking at that one you put on there, Bruno. And I actually was looking at both of these ones that you put in there. But the issue that I found was that, I didn't have, it doesn't give you enough room to write either emotion at that time when you were trading, or some like give you extra space to be able to write that.
See, that's why I like that page that I was talking about, because I've got all that crap up at the top, and then I've left half of the page where I can basically write a paragraph or two of what my feelings were, why I got in the trade. And then don't forget the smiley face or the frown face when you're doing it, because coaches said if you put the smiley or frown, it lets you know, okay, this was a bad day. Why was that a bad? It's like a at a glance. Oh, what did I do wrong here? You know what I mean? And I just do those pieces of information at the top, and then the second half of the page is where I'm just writing what happened, what I was feeling, why I did what I did. And it's just a notebook piece of paper, and you flip the page and do your next trade, and just get yourself a notebook. And I have a picture of it. When I get my phone back and I get my pictures and stuff back, I'll post it in the membership lounge.
Yeah, why don't you go take a picture of it for me right now?
You know what? I can actually use my wife's phone and actually do that and put it in here. So yeah, you ain't said nothing but a word.
Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, that's funny. Hey, so you said you get your phone back when? Or
tomorrow.
A new phone?
Tomorrow.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah, man. Gotta love Verizon and Asurion. You order it, the next day it's at your door. But I had to wait until today. I had to go all weekend without it. What?
You know what's going to happen tomorrow? What? You're going to get that, and you're going to open it. You're going to be all excited, and then you're going to go in your purse to grab a piece of gum, and it's going to be right there.
I'm still waiting for it to turn up. I feel like that's going to happen at some point. That's very strange that you said that. But everywhere it could possibly be, it isn't. So I'm like, there's no way. And I'm pretty sure that I had it with me when I left the house. I always have it in my right pocket when I leave the house. I have muscle recall of putting it in my pocket as I was walking out the door. So I know it's not in the house. Unfortunately.
You probably tore the house up, huh?
Oh, man. You have no idea. I'm like, where's my phone? And then I realized, and it's so funny because you go to, oh, you know what? Jen was like, oh, I sent you this pic. Oh, my God. Like she was going to say she sent me a picture. You know what I mean? It's like, honey, did you forget?
Earlier, Dawn said I went to the beach to clear my head. I said she lying. She went to go look for the phone.
No, that was the first 2 days. We back and forth to where I was sitting at. She keeps blaming herself because she's like, if I hadn't run back to the house, you wouldn't have sat down and it wouldn't have fallen out of your pocket. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't make the phone fall out of my pocket, and I know it has a habit of doing that, and I'm always catching it. So I should have. I don't know. Hindsight's 20/20. So, you know what I mean? It's just like a trade. I equate everything to a trade. I'm like, I could have done this. I could have done that. And it's like, either way you look at it, it's gone, never to be found again. So just move on. You know what? I'm going to run and go get her phone and take a picture of that. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Man, I wish that other guy that was doing crypto was still in here, because I was going to pick his brain a bit. He made a comment.
Zane,
whatever it was, yeah. Because he made a comment that he feels like it's not trade. it's not real trading, and I'm
Did you
kind of curious
see?
why
I
he
made a
said that.
thumbnail and stuff. I did that with your phone.
Did you?
You have Fonto and Bizarre.
We hear you, Don.
Fonto and
You're on
Bizarre.
mute. You're not on mute.
Oh, hi guys. Yeah.
No, like I don't care.
I'm just kind of curious why he says that, because if you, like, for years as I was trading, like, all I did was chart, graph, you and then you're looking at where things are going, and like, yeah, there's more risk with it, more reward. There's a lot with crypto but
I think
I
he
felt
said.
like,
I think he said he felt like he wasn't doing real trading, not that crypto
okay.
wasn't real trading.
Yeah, you learn a lot of bad things with it, because what I found with it was that you could literally go down with, and this is where I'm still trying to get out of my head, is you could literally, in crypto, you could go down 50% total account, trade, whatever you got, and then if you didn't have enough room in that stop, turn around within a couple minutes, and then you're launching up, and you're just skyrocketing. And so, like, I had one night where I didn't sleep. There's a lot of time I did not. Trading crypto was stressful. I didn't do a lot of sleeping. But there was one night where I looked at where I had everything, and I put a stop somewhere, because I was certain that's where it was going to go. And if I hadn't of put my stop where it was, I wouldn't have taken a loss. And instead of getting 10% or whatever it was, the gains that I had, I would have been like a 3 or 4x. And that was the kind of stuff that happens with crypto all the time, is you would shoot down, fly down, and then you would fly up. Most stressful version of trading, stocks, is so, which is crazy for me to say, but stocks is so much less stressful than trading in crypto. Yeah, you can make easy money, quick money trading crypto, or at least you used to be able to. I say used to because the market has been so stagnant for crypto. But you can make a lot more money on the stock market for two different reasons. One, you've got a lot more protection with the regulations that are there. Two, you're only doing it during set hours, so you time everything around then. And three, your crypto right now, you can do 1,000x leverage. So you take one ether, what is it, $1,800? You leverage that. You leverage it for a second. It goes up $1. There you go. You just made $1,000 in a second with 1,000x leverage. Now it goes the other way. You can lose $1,000, right? You can get margin calls.
Leverage.
But the thing is that, like, that's the kind of stuff you can do with crypto right now. But that has a negative effect on the whole market, because now the market is just doing leverage, and you see it with stocks, right, Ralph? When the hot stock picks come up, what happens? They fly up if they don't have options. What happens the minute they've got options? They don't fly.
Oh yeah.
They don't fly as much. So
the hot stocks usually be around news and stuff. They have like news.
Yeah.
But
so I think crypto
options is 100 leverage.
Yeah, it's 100, but not 1,000.
Not 1,000. You don't need 1,000. Like you don't.
And the thing with options is you only lose, and I guess it's the same with the other way, but you only lose what you put in at most, and you can have stop losses and stuff like that. Well, I haven't done any of that leveraging stuff with the Ether and Bitcoin, all that, but I do know that I'm pretty sure, I don't think you can put stop losses in there. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. I just started with the crypto. I thought crypto was a fraud before I started with American Dream Trading. Like I didn't. I never really like. I ain't think it was like. I ain't think. Well, I guess I didn't. I knew what crypto was, but
Yeah. I still, if you got a bag and you're keeping it and you're storing it for long term, great. If you're going to trade that stuff, you're putting yourself up into way more trouble than you need. Just my take. And I've got a buddy that would completely disagree with me. He would be chewing me out right now. People on different sides of the fence. But I think even he's coming to see that the trading market is a lot more calm. That stocks are a lot more calm than the crypto market.
yeah. Well, they got different markets for different people. I mean, they have crypto traders, stock traders, whatever you. That's the financial markets. They're big, so you got so many different ways to do it. You know, than just stocks. You know what I'm trying to say. Like you got the crypto market, you got
Yeah.
bonds. They got so many
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. You got everything.
Yeah, they got so many different things. But I mean, I don't know. I really don't nothing. I don't know nothing that's paying like options though. Just be serious. That option and the Evo strategy. I don't know nothing that's just that smooth. Like I haven't found it anyway. I don't really need to look either. So
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
So,
But yeah, man.
you know,
Just work on the position size. That's the main thing. Trade journal. Have a plan. You know. Uh, talk to Bruno. He's really good at putting together. Like you had heard him help one guy, and they put together a whole like market plan one day. Um, and it was quick with it too. I was like, wow. you know, I said I don't even have that type of checklist. But yeah, talk to Bruno. He got
what I've got to figure out for me is, okay, at what point do I say it's time to get back? Get back on the bike, right, and start doing it again and turn things around, right? Um, Mine is probably going to be quicker than honestly what Coach says with the 30 days and everything else.
Mhm.
Um, because I feel like already I've learned so much. That said, I'm not going to be trading tomorrow unless I see something that's like, you got to get in this, right? I'm not going to be, and even then, I'm going to be shooting myself and talking myself out of it. So for now, it's like I am going to be purely just focusing on watching the market, learning the EWO strategies, really charting things out, get support resistance lines as the day goes by, and that kind of stuff. But I got to be honest with you, like I've got things behind that I'm saying, well, if I'm not doing that, I'm not making money. If I'm not making money, I'm not going to get where I need to be. And what happens if next week my work says, okay, you're fired? You know,
Well, one reason for the break is to clear your mind. That's obvious. But losses come in clusters. You know what I mean? Like you can have a string of losses. You could 5 bad trades in a row. That's why coach be like, if you have 3 bad ones, if you have 3 bad ones in the while, that's what I do. I know it's a number that he have. I think it's 2 bad days in a row. But that's the one way that you can control major loss is, hey, if it's even had so many in a row, just take the rest of the day and regroup. Because if you keep going, you're gonna get into revenge trading, over trading, and all that could have been avoided if you would have just took the day off. And
yeah,
you don't have to
and I'm
trade.
learning. The unfortunate thing is, I asked Coach. I said a while back when he wasn't taking time off. I said, I think you should take time off because it really helps us
Recession.
be able to see where we at. And the stupid thing is, I'm the one that asked for that, but I blew up my account while he was gone. I feel I learned from myself that how much I was depending upon him more than I should have. Now, thankfully, I might have blown it up, but I didn't lose that much. Okay, I wasn't hot, but it wasn't so much that I'm like, well, damn, I'm screwed for eternity. I did exactly what I did before. Blah 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 blah. No, I can just as easily, and I recognize I can take, a couple $100 and turn it into, where I've got within some trades and be fine. Right. I'm being real small and cautious before I come in with any large amount of money. Partly because I just don't have that kind of money right now. But also because, well, of what
Well,
just
you don't
happened.
want to risk it. It's a risk. You don't want to risk
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. So at some point, like for example, I'll take my 401k, I'll cash that sucker out or switch it over to an IRA or trade my own 401k and get there and start doing that. But I'm not there right now. I don't want to blow that up.
No, you don't want to do that. No, you don't want to do that. Repetition.
Okay, so I couldn't find it. I don't know what I did with that journal, but I made a mock page and I just took a picture of it. So I'm gonna put it in Restream so that you can, because I pretty much remembered how I did it, and I'm gonna show you how it looks. So
See what you
give me
got,
2
dog.
seconds. I'm gonna have to go out and come back in. So let me find Restream here. But it's pretty simple, and it's not anything that you gotta put a whole bunch of information in, which you'll see. There we go, Restream.
Arlo, are you in here?
Hey, Arlo.
Hey, Arlo.
Oh, I don't know if she's in here or not, but I'm asking if she is.
I haven't seen her so far.
I don't know if I saw her posting or not.
Okay. Well, if she ends up going back and listening to this, I just want to say I really appreciate how you're always helping people.
Oh yeah, she's always.
Yeah, she definitely is. Okay, there we go. I just loaded it in. And I'm going to go out and come back in. Restream is so weird with that.
So you don't play the Maras and the Riots, Chris?
What'd you say?
I said you don't trade Mara and Riot? Like
No.
crypto?
No, because I just I find more, believe it or not, I find more success in SPY than I do in stuff like that. I haven't really tried Mara and Riot, so what I was considering doing, because SPY is so, like, I've been studying it and watching it for years now. What I've learned based upon what Coach has said is that Apple, basically, not what he said, but what he's been teaching us about how much SPY follows the big ones, especially Apple, and really taking into consideration, because I was trading Apple, I was doing really good, but not better with SPY. I wasn't getting as much gains as I was with Apple as I would with SPY. So what I was considering doing was, when I get back in, trading Apple, because it's so similar to SPY, and then just really getting on there and building up the account for consistent gains, rather than going with SPY, where you get really high, fast gains, but a lot more risk because it moves so quickly.
Yeah, SPY is tough, man. SPY is tough. I know you've been following it, but have you been trading options with it? Like SPY is tough. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Try the Qs. I don't know what to say. I don't have the answer for you. That's all I know. Spies is a hard, like spy is hard to trade. I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. And coach even says if you're not familiar with trading, don't trade spy. But I'm not the rule. All right. I'm not I'm the exception, not the rule. But it's only because literally for the last seriously 8 years I've been watching Spy. So actually maybe more than that. So I've literally been watching it on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on a minute basis, on a so I'm watching it and I already kind of have a better idea of what it does and where it goes and everything else compared to somebody that's just coming in that doesn't know what it's doing. The downside
Right.
is I was watching Spy to use it with Bitcoin, all right, and Ether. Well, specifically Ether.
Mhm.
I was not watching Spy to trade Spy. So my head's different. My goggles, I got to put on different goggles, different mindset, and everything else.
Let's see what we got
You
here.
see what's happening there? So I've got journal at the top. If you can't read my chicken scratch, sorry about that. But it just basically is like that. It's got stock. What was my strike price? What did it cost me to get into? $1. What was my exit price? $1.20. What did I win or lose? 20% gain. You can write in there $20, whatever you want. And then under it, you're basically writing notes. Got in at the beginning of the 2-minute EWO. It was over VWAP, over the 2155. Felt good about my entry. Held on from 9:38 to 10:15.
Mhm.
Quick, bit, bam, boom.
Yeah, that's way more than that because mine just like the second half of the page. I don't. I just say what I traded.
And what attracted me was the top part. He had like a couple more than this, and I had it originally how he did, but this is what I ended up eventually whittling mine down to, just those key indicators and my notes, and that was it. And that takes 5 minutes to do that. And if you do that and you can flip back through, and of course the date, I'm missing the date, so you can go back to any date. Wait a minute, why did I lose money on that date? Oh, no wonder. Oh, because you forget this stuff. You're like me. You probably have a photographic memory, so you think you can keep everything in your head. And you get to a point where it builds up to a point where, no, you are you're forgetting stuff. And it's like, oh, shit, that's right. That's why I did that. There's mistakes that I've made recently that I'm like, you know what? I journaled about that and never went back and looked at it because I remember writing about this. And yet I just did it again because I wasn't going back over my journal.
And I used to take a picture of the trade. Well, I still do take pictures of the trade, but I used to take a picture of the trade and then like do the notes on the phone. That wasn't really getting it. I had to put the pen to the pad. I still take the pictures, and sometimes on the pictures of the missed trades, I go back and look at it, and I be like, "What the hell was I thinking?" What the hell was I thinking when I got in that?
Right. So if hopefully that helps you and you can come up with your own thing that's similar. Some people do spreadsheets. I forgot all about Word and Excel and all that, and my eyes aren't really good on the computer, so I do everything on my phone. So I use notebooks a lot. I'm old school, so I can write really big and see it. You know what I mean? So I just write everything in the notebook and then just go back over it, and I hadn't been consistent with that. So that's another thing that I'm changing about what I'm doing from this point on.
It's something about writing it down, ain't it? Like,
It
how if
really
you write
is.
down the cheat notes for a test and then you get in the class and you take the test.
It helps you remember better.
Yeah,
it really does.
You don't even need the cheat note because you done wrote it down. Like, I don't know.
Right. Your memory has a way of sticking it in your mind when you write something down that just looking at it or, listening to it doesn't do.
Right.
That's why they make you take notes.
Because half of the time, I don't go back through the journal until I'm really struggling. Like if I get to a point, I'm like, what the hell is going on with me? That's when I start going back through the journal notes. And sure enough, you'll find the problem.
Right.
Or it'll come to you while you're writing, making journal entries, I done had it fix itself both ways.
Coach is
But yeah.
when he starts watching, if he's not watching already, I know he's not going to be happy with me. So I'm just waiting for that reaming of.
Yeah, let's
What are
put
you
that
doing?
disclaimer with you when you come up here. If you let any of your game out, just know you're gonna get reamed for it. Okay.
It's
I
coming.
know. I know. I'm just
It's
waiting
coming.
for it. It's coming. And here's Bruno. Bruno's like, "Hey, can you repeat this?" And I'm like, he's already gonna ream me. You want me to say it twice?
Right? No, but the cool thing is we know he's doing it for our benefit. Even
That's
if he's
it.
not listening now, he'll probably go back over it on a replay and be like, okay, who fucked up today? And how can we fix it? Because
Yeah,
that's where you don't get a chance to say it in the Zoom call. It's a good
Bro,
source for him to check back
Yeah.
in.
Bruno asking
But I
in the
said
asking in the comments. That's who you need to really talk to. I'm telling you, Bruno got that the start checklist. I was like, wow. When I heard Bruno give somebody a checklist, I was like, I need to get my shit together.
Oh, shout out to David too, getting it up on the payroll today and getting the recognition that he has so well deserved. That was awesome. He and Bruno are like the at the helm. Him, Bruno Lee. I mean, those guys are killing it. Shout out to him because he's been helping for so long, and the way he took me under his wing this past week has really been really cool. Sending me screenshots and stuff and checking in. Did you get in here? Or, what's happening? Or wait, don't do it now because of this level. And, did you look at your levels? And just kind of holding me accountable, and that's really cool.
Hey, Dawn, Bruno want to
Yeah.
know Chris, Bruno want to know the story he didn't hear. I'm reading in the comments.
All right. Yeah, let me. First off, absolutely, Don. That is awesome. David deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
really
helpful.
That's Mr. Miyagi there.
Yeah.
That's who he reminds me of.
Yeah.
Miyagi Lanes.
I love how he'll sit. He talks a little fast for me, but especially when he gets real excited about explaining something. But that energy can also be rub off on me and give me a little like a bump for the day.
You talking about David?
David, yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about fast? Remember Mitch? When Mitch would get into something, good God Almighty, I would have to film it on Video Leap and slow it down 10 notches. Mitch could get going, man, and talk fast as hell.
Yeah. So Shep, definitely, awesome for David deserves it. I'm so glad that he got it. That's great to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Be there. So now, Bruno, I'll back up my story for you here. So, so here's the deal. I last week was doing pretty good, really good. I did a 3x and then I doubled, did a 2x and was doing really, really well. Got too big for my own head, went in way too large, broke rules. Had some family stuff happen right after that happened. And then it just kind of cascaded for the week. And I just had, I'm taking notes.
I'm telling you. That's why I said
speak at your own risk.
So I was not, and by the way, the only reason I'm sharing this, guys, I said it before I jumped off the call on Zoom, is I don't have to share it. I already know this stuff. I'm sharing it so that other people that might be listening, they can learn from my mistakes. Don't be like me. How many times have I said, don't be like me?
Right.
All right. This is, I've made a lot of mistakes and I'm still making mistakes and I'm going to get better and I'm striving for it. And learn from my mistakes, learn from our mistakes as we've collectively talked about it. So that you don't make those same mistakes. You probably will, but at least learn from them and try not to. So anyways, I had some stuff that really got to me in the middle last week. And then I just started trading very poorly after trading, and then revenge trading and doing more and more and more. And it just resulted in me completely, destroying my account. And it was bad. It should not have occurred. It's not a reflection of coach and what he teaches. And I should have been listening to the back of my head, coach saying, stop it. But I, I was not having a good time. So, um, kind of back to square one for me. But from that, after the week, after kind of really tucking my tail between my legs and being willing to admit, I've got a like I'm an AA, I've got a problem, you know. And being willing to just sit back and say, look, I need help. I need to be willing to go back and get back to fundamentals, see what I'm missing, get back to the rules, figure out why I'm not doing it, and figure out where I'm at, and just really go over his videos and see if I'm missing a fundamental, if there's some big things that I'm missing, which I found there was. And as I was going through his videos that are both paid and the free videos that he had, and really putting my head right, I'm sitting there realizing all of the things, not just that I was doing last week that were wrong, but weeks prior. Yes, emotional trading is definitely one way to describe last week that just resulted in more and more bad things. Um, so, as I was um, going through the videos and everything else, I was seeing not just things that I was doing wrong last week or weeks prior, and a fundamental misunderstanding of a lot of things, EWO strategies, really, really going, really going back to looking at, am I charting correctly, trending correctly, support and resistance, everything. And I found from that I was, I'm pretty good at charting and that kind of stuff. But when I'm in a trade, I'm learning more and more how stressful it is for me, and how much emotion goes into it. And because of that, I can be really good at making calls of where things are going to go. But when I'm in a trade, everything goes out the window. And really figuring out how to work through that. Those are the challenges that I've got. There are other things that I talked about too. Like I found out, I realized Robinhood is not for me. It's creating more problems than it should, because you get into a call, you put an option in or a put, whatever, call put, whatever. If you don't have a stop loss in there right away, you could lose a whole bunch of money. That happened to me last week quite a bit. Happened to me before too. But Robinhood, so what I'm doing is switching away from that platform, if I can get options, to something else that I can get a stop loss in right away. Only being willing to take, figure out where my risk tolerance is, and only being willing to take that on one trade. Um, and and then being willing to, when a call is there, um, for a call or a put, um, if I'm not in the money yet, like if it's been going on for a little bit and I'm just now noticing that we should be in a short or a put or whatever it is, and we're too far out. Part of my problem was getting in there too late, and then just getting chopped up and eaten alive because of it. So being willing to say, it's okay, there'll be another trade. You don't have to get in right now. You can wait until the next buy signal. Um, and being willing to say, hey, I don't have to get on every trade. And that's okay. You don't have to get on every trade. You just have to get, into some that are going to make you profit. And then also having unrealistic expectations of profit, because coming from the crypto market, I totally expect to have huge gains, right? Unless I'm trading it like a stock, I expect to have that. If I'm doing things, holding things more long term, which is what I like to do. So I've had a lot of things and a lot of wake up calls this weekend as I was going through the videos, especially watching the 2-minute EWO video that David put on from the workshop class, and then coach's EWO strategy, and then watching the free YouTube videos that he's got, realizing how I just need to get back to not get back to, but I was missing a lot of things. For example, the super trend. All right, you guys talk about the super trend quite a bit. Well, I never thought about using the super trend in terms of both an early indicator, also a confirmation. And that was one thing that David kind of brought about, talked briefly, very, very briefly about in the EWO video. And I want to learn more and more and more about it, the super trend indicator. But it gives such a good spot to, hey, keep an eye out here for a trade. So I can't see if you're typing. Oh yeah. So you're right. I right now only am. So you mentioned paper trading. Right now, today I did not trade, and right now all I'm doing is I'm trying to set it up for paper trading, but I'm having issues with it. So that I'm going back to the paper trading. There's a lot of shame in it for me because I feel like I shouldn't need to, but there's a lot of, and there's fear that goes into not making money too. But I know it's better for me in the long term. So yeah, right now that's what I'm doing. I'm going back into paper trading. I don't know how long I'll do it. I know coach's rules are 30 days or whatever. But I don't know that that's what I'll do. I'll have to see how long, but it's going to be for at least several weeks. So, getting back to that part.
You have the Weeble though already, right? If you're not approved for options, can you paper trade the options with Weeble? Like if you're not approved for options trading?
Well, I tried today to do that.
I'm acting like, will it let you?
It wouldn't. It kept saying your account is not set up for something like this or blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it was. So I was like, well, how can I train if I can't paper trade? This is ridiculous. So I've got Thinkorswim set up, but the problem with Thinkorswim,
they don't have paper trade.
I'm finding issues with Thinkorswim. But basically today what I did is I was on the I was just sitting back, watching it, looking for the EWO, saying this is marking it, this is where I would buy, this is where I would sell, and just really kind of looking at the chart, let the chart speak to me, rather than actually using buys and sells. And then I'd keep an eye on the contract prices to get an idea.
Yeah,
because I was getting really
on Robinhood. If you pick it, it'll let you know, the watch list or whatever, to let you know how much it is at the time. That's what I was thinking. That's the only thing. And they'll Thinkorswim. Weeble should be able to let you paper trade though. I mean, well, I guess they won't if you don't have the options. I don't know. Weeble is going to be the best paper trading option for options, I believe.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I would like to use Weeble if possible.
Thinkorswim.
That's what I'm going to end up. That's going to probably be what I end up trading in. But they didn't. I don't understand. I answered the question wrong. So I realized I put my risk assessment, my risk at like moderate or something, and I didn't put it at the highest risk. But that is my high. Like I understand. I put money in. I can lose it all, right? I should have put it at the high, and I didn't. And it was a mistake. So they didn't approve. They approved me for options, but they didn't approve me for level 2. And for whatever reason, when I try to put a stop loss, when I try to buy an option on paper trading, or even if I try to real trade, because I did try to see what the hell's going on? Why isn't it letting me do it? I tried something that was like $1, and it wouldn't let me do anything. It wouldn't let me go. It wouldn't let the option go through, or the buy for the option. So I've got to figure out that part with Webull. But Thinkorswim, I am able to trade on there.
Oh, okay.
You know, with options and that kind of
With
stuff.
that paper trade.
But there's some. I just don't. I don't think I like the platform.
Yeah.
Are you there, Don?
Yeah, it takes getting used to, definitely.
Yeah, I don't have a Thinkorswim. I thought Thinkorswim was pretty good. I heard it was one of the better ones.
Hey, Don, I could hear you for just a brief second, and then you disappeared. I gotta go get some tequila, so I'll be back here in just a second, okay? Oh, she disappeared. I'll wait till she gets back.
But yeah, it's tough, man. I had some rough times with trading, you know. It takes a while. I guess because I came from not really trading, I guess.
I feel like, honestly, people that do that, you're so advantaged.
Can you guys see and hear me?
I can see you. I can hear you.
You said you can see me and hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to step back and get some tequila.
So, Don, what's the plan?
So
for
the
when you come
plan
back?
is to continue watching Apple tomorrow, and just continue watching Apple, period. And Thursday to come back and wait for proper setups. Just read the candles, read the EWO, and do just what David said. I'm not taking anything that is gonna put a whole bunch of guesswork in it. And if it's not, I don't care if that doesn't show up all day, then that means I have to have the discipline not to trade. If it does not show up to where it's over VY5, over the 9, all of that stuff, and if the EMA cloud is separated and all that good stuff, and it's the second candle and it's twice as big as all the stuff Coach tells us to do. If it's not like that, I'm not getting in it.
You got to have Nana's attitude. I'm not touching that market. Okay.
That's it. I love it when she does that. It's just too choppy. I'm not getting in it. I'm like, yeah, I can do Nana too. I haven't done Nana for y'all yet, but I can do Coach. It's too choppy. I'm not going to get in that. It's just too bad. The level is not where you want it to be. I'm not getting in it.
But yeah, Don, you got to get
awesome.
You got to get you a consistent small account. That way you can trade every day. After what I'm saying is, do what you've been doing, but get like a small account, so that way whenever the day is over from whatever you've been doing, you just, trade shares and that or options if you want to do that. But, trading every day because, I heard what you said about the paper trading. You never did it. So, but
yeah, why you gotta be putting me out there? We don't have to reiterate that. You did that just so I could get in trouble.
You said it on tape.
It's okay, Dawn. I didn't do it either.
I'm like, man, do we have to reiterate the stuff? What's up, stranger?
Funny.
I only did it by choice.
I'm like, okay, all right. But in all fairness, I can't even lie. I'm going to say I did small trades. We all know that's bullshit. How many times have I complained? I lost $400. So, yeah. But
that was one of the hardest things for me to hone in right there. That the 3% rule, I had to get real serious with it this time around. And you know what? It's working out.
I don't have a choice. Smooth. I'm going to be put out and getting cars repossessed if I don't.
It's working out really smooth. It's way smoother than I thought it would.
not only that, but I heard so many horror stories about when you go to get fills and things like that. It's not the same. Plus, Robinhood doesn't offer it. If Robinhood offered it, I probably would do it. You
What you
know,
mean?
that's something they need to seriously consider. Robinhood doesn't offer paper trading.
Oh yeah, they don't. I don't understand that.
I know Webull does, but
Yeah, I
Robinhood,
don't understand that not being able to. I don't understand why they don't have a paper. Every broker has a paper trading, but Robinhood. I don't understand that.
because they like to rob people. They don't want you faking it. They want to be able to take your money.
I don't think
Right.
Fidelity has it. I've never seen it on there.
I've been using Robinhood for my long term though. Uh, I think they better for that. That's what I use for the my long term.
Yeah, that's what Coach was recommending that because
The
you
drip.
can do the long term stuff in there. Yeah, the
Hmm.
drip, um, the reinvest. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good feature because that way you don't get a chance to touch it. It just goes right back into the stock.
Hmm. Christina, what about that? What was it? Verb.
Verb?
What
I'm
about
still
that
in it.
verb?
I'm still in it.
What?
A
Are
little
you
bit.
Are
serious?
you really?
Let me see one
Oh
sec.
yeah, I've been shaving. Yeah, so
Listen,
yeah, I'm in it.
Verb
I'm in
had that
it.
ABCD pattern, which I was like, what? This thing did the That's what I call it.
What's it at now? Let me see. I'm driving, so it's kind of hard to trade. It's at 284 right now. I'm waiting for it to
The
go back up
pattern,
again. It's
if
gonna go
you
back up
looking
a
at
little
it,
bit.
Dawn, the pattern that
No.
the pattern that Verb made today is the pattern that you need to see on like a daily chart for a stock that's about to get real bullish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like when
yeah.
I see
I
that right
actually I
there
went and bought more.
on a daily chart, I be like, shit, this thing about to get ready to get busy. You know?
I went on my Robinhood and used up that buying power. I didn't have any left on Fidelity, so I went Robinhood and bought more. And I'm already, I'm up on that too. So, yeah.
And
What's what's the ticker?
VERB,
verb, yeah,
verb.
VERB.
It's like it's an action. It's a verb.
And that
Like, okay,
and that
okay.
pattern right there is what I look for. I'm gonna tell you what I look for the long term stocks. Um,
So you
I look for
suggested
it
for
to
long
move.
term? Are you in it? You didn't get in it today, or did you?
Oh, well, no, that was a hot stock, wasn't it?
Yeah. Uh huh.
No, I don't do it for
Yeah.
the long terms. I just mainly be doing like the blue chips and ETFs, and I do
Yeah.
smaller ones too. You know, I think I did DraftKings. So far since I turned to Robinhood to just mainly long term, I did Caterpillar, Apple. Well, I always have Apple. Caterpillar. I did Tractor Supply before. Got rid of that one.
Yeah, Coach always
DraftKings,
says don't do hot stock picks for
CCL.
long term.
Yeah, don't do that for long term. I did CCL. I did TSLL. I did a bunch of them. The ones that they be. Listen, if you hear them calling out something for several days, go and look at it. If it do like a 30% move up over a span of weeks, and then it start going sideways, right? And then if it's making like a wedge pattern, but it's going look like it's going in a downtrend almost, but it's like sideways. When it break out of that consolidation, it's gonna get busy. I'm telling you, that's like a signature move that I look for in a long term, like pretty good company. Whenever they like, if you hear a certain company just keep getting called out, first thing I go and look for is, and this is happening over weeks now, like 3 6 weeks or whatever. You hear this shit just continuously getting called out, and then you don't hear it no more. It's because it's going into that little. I guess they call it a consolidation. So I don't know. I call it a 3-time move. I call it a because they got like a I call it a pull up, a relax, and then another pull up. The second pull up is the hard one though, and this is what I look for. I go on like the higher time frame, and if I can see that the volume is really high on the up days, and then on the pullbacks the volume is low, that means they're
Hmm.
accumulating. You know what I'm saying? That means somebody is buying, but they're not selling. Somebody is,
Right.
getting ready to take this thing higher. And then whenever it go into the sideways action, I guess that's from taking profits. I don't know why it does that. But then whenever it break out of the consolidation, it's about to get busy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Verb made the pattern. So that's why I said, damn, Verb made I guess I don't even know what the pattern is called. ABs. I don't know. Shit. I just know
Like,
how
what
to
did it look
find it.
like?
It's like a S looking move. It's a basic chart pattern. What is it? Like a up move, then the falling wedge, and then it takes off, And I go and look for that every time before I pick out like what I'm gonna do for the. That's how I had found DraftKings that one day when I think I had told you. I was like, DraftKings about to go. It's about to go, and then it's gonna go for like 4 days in a row probably. And the reason why is because I think DT had called it out at first, and then after that, everybody was calling out DraftKings, and then next thing you know, it went silent. You ain't had nothing else. It was going into the little downtrend move. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that, but it rests for a minute. I don't know, but I noticed all the ones that Nvidia did. Where Nvidia just went to the move, but Nvidia did it a little bit. I think Nvidia had made like a cup and handle pattern or something like that. But it's like a rest that I don't know why they do the rest. I don't know why they do it, but that's what I look for when I go and pick my if I'm gonna put something in long term. This is this thing exploding on high volume and the days that it pull back, low volume or low volume. Yep.
I got
Christina
that
said she's
Who is
tequila.
still in it.
this?
Christina said she's still in it.
Said I got that
Oh, you
tequila.
got
Is
the
that
vodka.
Coach? Oh, I'm like,
I might have put quite a bit in it, but it hasn't hit me yet.
yeah, maybe.
Wait, we got somebody
You would
else
have
in here.
thought.
Todd Edwards. Who is that?
Todd, who's
Todd?
Todd?
I don't
Speak
know.
up, dude.
Shit.
Hey, what's up?
What's going
I've
on?
been part of the group since November of last year.
Okay. You came in the same time as me then.
Oh,
Yeah, I just work all the time and I barely have time to trade until this winter time when the grass season slows down and stuff.
Okay.
I try to concentrate on more cover calls and cash secure puts.
Now that's the way to go
I
there.
remember you talking about that, Todd.
Yeah.
That's the way to go there.
I have never lost money doing it, except my AI stock's down, but I'm steadily making little money, while it's down. So, um, I tried to make a trade on Friday when Tesla was dumping, and I kept on selling it instead of putting my stop. So I lost like $200 instead of making money.
I make
Every
that
time I,
mistake. You talking about Weeble? I do that
sucks.
on the
yeah,
phone sometimes because when I bring it up, it'll ask you like you know how you gotta click on the limit or whatever to bring up the rest of the stuff to make it to pick whatever you want to. I done did that a few times. I wrote it in the journal. Now every time I open up the phone, I always look at that window, look at that limit sign and be like, you better not hit enter. Because I go and put in the numbers. I know exactly what you're talking about. Man, I don't even want to talk about it.
yeah, I
That
did it
and then
twice.
whenever
I
we
did
were,
it twice in a row, and I called it a day. I just bought some
yes,
shares that instead, so I wouldn't try to do it again. So I spent the rest of my buying power on some shares. I was like so frustrated. I was like, man,
I
I could
know
have
that
made
mistake.
$1,000.
Yes, I just did that one time.
Yeah.
I think I had bought like 4 SQQs one time and went to go put her in a stop and sold that shit right there and on the spot. I was like, "Are you serious? I made 4 pennies. What?" I tried to hurry up and buy right quick and then set my stop up after, you know, because it was running and I ain't have time to set it up with it. I want to use the widget. And I did exactly. That or they'll put in the numbers for you. You got to make sure you change the quantity because we were bad about giving you a predetermined quantity.
But yeah, well, I've been watching all his. He uploaded a bunch of videos yesterday, so I watched a whole bunch of them yesterday, and I can't wait till this winter to try to scalp again and try to more day trade than swing trade. But I do got a long
Look
Tesla
at
call
Verb.
6 months out, on Tesla to go up. So, today I got about $700 back that I lost on Friday on it, gained back. So, but I'm pretty confident it's going to go up in the next 6 months. So,
Oh yeah, Tesla. Yep.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
I
guys see
like that.
Verb up there?
Yeah, we see it. And see well, you can't really see it, and I guess I'm looking at it in a higher time frame. But yeah, I like the way they set the videos up, Ty. Like I like that. The videos how they got them labeled and everything. That's what you was talking about. You went and
Yep.
watched
That
a
makes
bunch
it
of videos.
so much easier.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I like that. It just bring you right there to what you're looking for.
No, I hear lately I've been like,
That's in a
I like Nate coming
2-minute
in there
time
in the
frame.
morning. But Nate's been coming in the morning, doing his trading thing, scalping on penny stocks. So that's been kind of nice to listen to in the morning.
Yep, I heard Nate up in there. Nate was trading this right here, Verb. Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
Nate this morning. I was in there early this morning. Me and Mr. Mark had this on support resistance lines. Like, I don't know, it was still dark. I don't know what time it was, but we had charted
I
out
was
micro
outside working on my lawnmowers. I get up at start working and getting my lawnmowers ready at about 6 in the
Damn!
morning. So,
You see that,
and,
dog?
yeah.
Look at the
And
The daily. Go to like a 30-minute time
that
frame and
Verb?
you'll see what
Is that
I'm
what you're
talking
looking
about.
at?
That's Verb.
VERB?
What's she looking at?
That's Verb.
What about it?
It did numbers.
Right now it's at 281.
It went
Yeah,
Right?
from
that's
like
crazy.
$1 to like $3. I thought it was gonna
Wow.
go to $3.50. Me personally.
That's crazy.
It has. It went up there. It hit 370, I think. It'll be back. It'll be back up. Don't worry.
Yeah, if you were in the VIP,
I know.
Coach called that out. What was it? $1 something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
that's when I got it.
So where's it at now?
Yeah. 281, I think. That's updated. Yeah, 281. It keeps on flopping back from like 270 something to 303. It's going up and down. So I'm kind of waiting it out for the last 30 minutes or so. I think it'll be higher. And if not, oh well.
I wish I wasn't in jail because I would have traded that.
Are you in jail? I don't know.
Yeah.
You see,
Christina,
Verb went sideways for a long time today, though, didn't it? Yeah.
Christina, you missed
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Coach is going to be nailing me tomorrow. I'm sure of it.
That's the 30-minute right there.
Oh, let me
That's
see.
the 30-minute
What is
chart
it?
right
I can't see.
Right, yeah. So you see that move right there? See how it pushed up
That's the
early in the
30-minute
morning?
chart.
And then it just hung out the whole
Look
day
here.
and just kind of went sideways. And then it popped at the end of the day.
It was
Yeah.
flat.
Mhm.
And then it went back down again. And I watched it. I watched the 5-minute chart, and I kept going back and forth. Now that's when I went on Robinhood and bought more. So I figured I might as well rack up all my accounts.
Yeah, but I remember Miss Linda and Nate was talking about Burb early this morning. And I guess it had.
When I got in, it was when he said,
That's a
"I don't
nice
like it.
2-minute
I
Evo
don't like
right
it. I'm not
there.
going to get in it." Yeah, he's like, he looked at it, he goes, I don't know, I'm not going to get in. I don't like it. And I looked at it and I went, boop, and I bought in. And I looked at it after a while and I'm like, oh, Nate's going to be pissed when he didn't get in.
Yeah, I remember that. I was listening this morning.
That's the
I don't
2-minute
like
chart.
Verb.
So yeah, I mean, it's like that's a steady 2-minute
Oh,
Evo.
right.
That's a nice Evo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been good like that all day.
Crazy.
Now that's what I don't understand. So, okay, I was in it way earlier this morning, and then it was up and up, and I ended up selling out because it was going down, and I didn't want it to go down. How do you know, like, if you're going on the 2-minute EWO, that means you can ride it, like, all day until when? How do you know when you gotta stop riding that?
You look at the candles. Like you can, because there's really probably not a whole lot of history unless it's had a history where it's been up here before. And then you would just go look at that and see where it's gone in the past and look at the levels. And that's how you know where it could possibly go again.
But if that goes, if you're in the 2-minute EWO and it goes red, it starts going down, you don't have to get out of it each time. It depends on that history,
no, you
right?
don't have to get out. I know what you mean. If you up high enough, you don't care about the red EWO coming, right?
Right.
Right. If you got him back here, which it would have been probably here. If you got in here, then you don't care about this little pullback.
Well, I did this morning. I didn't know, and I got out of it, and then I ended up buying. Well, I didn't mean to. I got stopped out. That's right. I got stopped out, so I went back into it, like immediately after. I think.
I use the trailing stop, during the day, but after hours, I know you can't use that. But during the daytime, once I get up high enough, I use both. It depends on how the stock is moving. If it's like up and down, something like a Tesla or something, I'm gonna be dragging
what it was. I gave it breathing room too.
Yeah.
I did. I went down. I gave it like 30%, I think, or 35, 40%. I don't know. I looked at 40%. I was like, so I went to 30%, and it took it. Then I got stopped out. I was like, damn. So I figured that's it. It's not coming back up, and immediately it went back up. So I got back in.
That's Apple
but
right
there. It was
there.
like flying that much back and forth,
The roller coaster. Wow.
Yes.
Dude, look at that triple top on Apple.
Yes.
Apple bottom D.
That's a channel.
I mean, that's just straight up, down, like perfect. And the thing I picked up from David this weekend, these twins here, yeah, man. I'm like, look at that shit. Almost every time.
Yeah.
And then you got the see, that's another thing, Christina. If you look with a lot of this stuff is with the like, look at this doji down here. Just saying right down here. Listen, it's at the bottom of the trend. It's a
I'm driving.
Oh, okay. But it's a dragonfly doji down there. I know.
A doji is when it's both there's like some top and bottom, right? Yeah. Okay, and then the engulfing one is what I don't know. That's
the engulfing.
Sorry, the engulfing one is
the
what I don't know.
The engulfing one is like, say like if you got a green one and then the red one is bigger and engulfs the camera. Pretty much, it's bigger than it on both sides. And then if that doji is on, if that doji is at the bottom of the top. Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then if the doji,
look at that right there.
The doji means it just can't make a decision yet, right? It can't make a decision because there was one today on these, and I was watching it. I'm like, which way is it gonna go? And it went down for a second, but then it finally went back up, and I'm like, so I figured once it went up, that means it's gonna pop.
Yeah, it means undecision.
There's no candle body at all.
But at the bottom of the chart, though.
Damn, look at this engulfing
It had a very, very small.
Look at that.
It had a very, very small candle body, and it had two long wicks on one on each side. Very small candle body.
Across. Yeah. The engulfing camera.
Yeah, that's called a spin. That's called a spinning top. That's a spinning top. When it's a little body and it's got a lot of wick on the top and the bottom, that's a spinning top, which usually
and then you don't know which way it's gonna go, right? So whichever way it goes, then it's gonna pop that way. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Oh, once it reaches a decision, it's gonna go flying whichever way. So I was ready.
But maybe, not always.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't. It went up and then it went down.
That's why you wait. You
fly anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, you need confirmation candles with the dojis. You know what I'm saying? You need confirmation candles with the dojis to figure out which way it's going. And then, like David says, you got to learn those levels. You know what I mean? So if you see
that's my thing. I got to learn levels.
And you need to learn the candlesticks in motion, like Like say like if his candles going up and they closing with no wicks on either side, that represents urgency in the market. That means limit orders ain't getting filled. That means the only way you can get in this is through a market order, bitch. You got to be hustling. You ever heard them say, "I ain't chasing it," you know?
Yeah.
So if it's going up and they don't have no wicks on either side, that means, hey, this thing is going up. The only way you can get in is to, you know,
And that's
market
when there's
order
no wicks.
or
That's when there's no wicks at
yeah,
all.
that's when the candles are going up with no wicks. Like say
What's
if
it
they
called?
going up, they stacked on top of each other with no wicks.
Yeah. What's that called?
Well, that's I call it just candles with no wicks. I mean, what they
Well,
call
not a doji. It's not. Okay, I didn't know if it had a
you know what I'm
name.
saying? If
You talking about a big candle body with no wick?
yeah, well, you know, if it's candles,
It's a Maribozo candle. It's a
okay, well,
volume
yeah.
candle. It's a Maribozo.
If
I knew
you
it
get
had some
several,
That
if
just
you,
means
bozo
that
candle.
means whatever color it is, that's who's dominating the market at that
Right.
time.
right.
Okay.
So if it's going up or going down with those type of candles, that represent urgency. Like
Oh,
you're not
A lot
gonna
of
get,
volume.
you're not gonna limit orders ain't gonna get filled. I
right.
mean, you know, you gotta.
Oh,
They
that happened
Too
to me
much
scrambling to get
volume.
sometimes
in.
today.
Yeah.
That happened to me with something
Too
today,
much
and I was like,
volume.
why didn't I get filled? I couldn't believe it. And it wasn't like, it was big. I thought, well, maybe there's not enough chairs, but there was. So I didn't know why I wasn't getting filled, and then that must be why that probably happened. Not with this,
Right.
Got the
with
dojis
another
at
one.
the
I don't remember
top,
what one.
and this big engulfing right here, and then bam, and then you got this hammer right here at the bottom. And it's at the bottom. It came in at the bottom of a downtrend,
Mhm.
so that signifies it's and that's exactly
Bam!
twins right here. Kind of bam! Look at that shit leveled out.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, when they come down, the doja comes down to test to
Yeah.
see if it's gonna be any sellers gonna come up. That's what they doing. You know,
I love
Mhm.
I
the
love that you
doji on
pointed
low
out.
volume mean it's probably gonna rise after that, or at
I
the
love
top,
that you guys
top
pointed
or
out
bottom.
that level 2 thing. See, I could see that, the sellers, the buyers. I love that. Because that's just some good confirmation, too. You're
Yeah.
not going to do this. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Another thing, since you're
Yeah, it's
doing the high
another
stop,
tool,
Yeah.
if the the trend is strong when the volume is rising with it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
okay, you got the EWO candles, you know, you got in on the second candle, and then like before you get in, you see the candles they going up. Well, if it's a
Yeah.
hot stock, it's gonna be just a scream. It's gonna be going up. But if the volume candles are still going up, that means
Yeah.
this thing is gonna have a strong trend.
Oh, yeah.
But
I watch
if
that
it's
volume
going
all
up,
the time, too. Once that volume,
if
when I
it's,
see that volume green, I know it's at least going to start or it's going to stay, or I like watching those. Yeah.
yeah, if it's going up and those volume candles now rising, they falling off. That means
Right.
this ain't really that strong of a
That means
move.
what? When the
I said,
volume's not going up?
yeah, if the volume ain't going up if the market is going up but the volume isn't rising, this ain't gonna be that strong. The breakout ain't gonna be that strong. Put it that way.
Oh, okay. Hey, and what is it on? Coach says at the 15-minute, if 15 minutes in after the market opens, if the
Don
stock
got that down pat. Go on and tell him,
that's what I
Don.
need to know. Is it if it's down or up, that's going to follow that trend, or if it's
15-minute drill.
green or red?
Okay, so it's you know what? In fact, let's look at Apple real quick. Let me jump over
I can't
there.
look.
So
I can,
Coach's
but
rule
I'm
is the
driving.
first. I know.
Okay.
I know already. Jesus, you don't have to tell me 20 times.
Fangu, come on
No, I
now.
already know.
The fuck?
You are Italian. I knew it.
I am. My
Oh my God, I remember
Maputan.
that
Yes, I
from
say
the
bad
Godfather.
things.
Oh, look at that one.
Oh, yeah.
I got. So basically, wait a minute. Hold on. Somebody came in over there.
Cut me off.
Look, that reminds me of the Godfather. Oh, Bafangu you.
Bapangu met Maputan. Yeah.
So the first
That's all I
15,
know. Well, I know a few
first
words, but-
15-minute candle.
Yep.
Okay, so the first 15-minute candle tells you, if the first 15-minute candle does not surpass whatever the pre-market high was,
Oh, that's what
then
I forgot.
that
Okay.
means most likely for the day, yeah, the
Yep.
stock's going to be down. But wait a minute though.
I could not remember.
Also,
I
the
forgot that
same
pre-market
first
thing.
15-minute
Okay.
candle.
Yeah.
Okay, so and also look at the color of it. If it's red, chances
Yep.
are it's saying it might be a down day. If it's green,
Okay.
chances are it might be an up day for the stock. Okay,
But
so it's
see,
two
that's what I
totally
was
separate
thinking.
rules.
Right, I was thinking that, so I was kind of going with that because I couldn't remember the rest, and it was the whole, if it didn't surpass pre-market high. I could not remember that. I'm like, I know there's something else I'm forgetting, so I couldn't remember. I was like, shit. I was trying to look at every time I bought into something, I was trying to check all that, you know. I'm learning to check everything.
What's going
but I
on,
couldn't
Nate?
remember what I was supposed to check.
That's Nate. Is that Nate? I don't know. I can't see down.
Hey,
I can't see
Nate.
the names.
Hey, Nate. You hear us talking about you? We can't hear him. Come on, buddy. Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Fucking A.
You crack me up, Christina.
On the highway.
I can't even see nothing. I just hear it.
Huh?
So you crack me up, Christina. I can't even
I thought I
see
was the
what's
only
going
one
on.
that's
I
supposed to say fucking
I
A.
just can't deal with it. I hate traffic. I hate that people drive so fucking slow and
But yeah, I be volume watching me.
get a movement.
Ever since Coach was like,
slow.
whenever you see the biggest volume candle that's out of the whole chart, like I said, if it's a 1 minute chart or a 2 minute chart, if you go to if you see a trend that's moving down and it start moving up, the biggest volume candle is what it's gonna take to turn that thing around. Coach had mentioned that one time whenever he had drawn out, he was like, all I care about is the biggest volume. Because that's the one that's gonna have enough people coming in to turn this trend, you know. But another thing I'd be looking out for is if I see a lot of volume, but it's a small candle, that right there should alert you, say, hey, something about to go on. Or if it's vice versa, say if it's a big candle on low volume, be like, what that don't even match up. What's going on here? You know? That should alert you that something
my
is
main indicators are the EWO, the volume, the VWAP. Those are my main ones I use. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
I got figure trading view out, so I don't use that yet. But once I figure it out, I'll figure that out soon. I figured it out one day and then I forgot, and
it really don't matter which one you use. I mean, to me, trading view is better.
But I don't know all this stuff. It's, you know, when you don't know a site, when you don't know one, looking at it is overwhelming. Weeble used to be very overwhelming to me. Now I know it, so it's okay. But when you don't know a site, it's like, woof, you know, it looks like too much. It stresses me out, and I have a little anxiety.
Hey, Don, I think it's
don't have anxiety.
Don, I think it's about time for a commercial break.
I do too.
Yep.
I do too. Shout out to American Dream Trading. Let's go with You want to go with the Wolf?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Shout out to the Fun House. Okay, my computer's acting slow. When it decides to let me into that air. Okay, here we go. Shout out to the Fun House.
Sounds like my backyard at night.
Look, a little backstory on that video. Do you guys realize that it's about 4 separate layers on that? Like the whole outer space background is one section. Coach's logo is a whole nother section that I overlap the moon. The trees moving forward, that's a whole nother section. The wolves weren't even really in there.
So you're saying you worked really hard on that. That was a
It's
lot
a
of work.
lot in video editing, man. All that shit looks like one main video, but it wasn't. All those are a bunch of separate pieces that I put together.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. It's fun. I love doing that shit. Same thing with that wolf in the beginning. He didn't come with that background. He was a green screen wolf. I found that background and put him in that.
That's cool. My son knows how to do that stuff now. He learned with with his music, so he's learning how to edit his own
tracks and stuff. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Cool.
I do that on GarageBand, like making music too. I'll add the drum track in first, and I'll add some bass on it, then some.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that. My son bought some kind of a program, I don't know, a long time ago to do that, so it was pretty good, I guess. I don't know. He could.
Yeah, he makes.
Yeah, he could do that where he slows his voice down, and then it speeds up, and and he's in the background while he's singing. He's himself is singing also in the background. It's weird. It's cool. It comes out pretty good. Yeah. I like it. So, they got something out there for everything. Cool. You can edit everything now, huh? No matter what it is.
You can. What'd you
say?
I
won that.
Tequila Man?
It is starting to hit me a little bit.
It's another tequila sunrise.
I need some more though.
Sad. I can't believe Jimmy Buffett died. That's so sad.
So I won that referral bonus, right?
Nice.
It was nice.
Oh, good job, dude. Good job.
So I went ahead and I told Coach though, because I don't know, man. I kind of don't. He's done so much for me, honestly, so much for all of us, right?
You told him to give it to me.
I did not.
Don, you want to split that with me?
I did not. But I'll let you guys. You'll hear it here first. So I told him I asked him to do two things. One, he could go ahead and I wanted him to refund my buddy's month because he ended up signing up for a month. So I don't know if you guys heard him talking earlier. Yeah,
that was the doctor.
Got in there.
That's
hoping
who was
he
talking.
stayed longer. And then I said, okay,
we had a couple new people.
What I want you to do with the rest is, if you have to give me some, you give me 200, and that'll help me fund my mistake. My account whenever I start trading, and then the rest of it, I asked him to go ahead and just give away for the next, I think, 3 people that sign up, to use it as a giveaway to get those people to sign up. So that way, at some point between whenever he decides to do it, that if they sign up that first month, he's going to refund them back. That way they sign.
Oh, cool.
That way it's like a kind of like if you're on Twitch or anything like that, it's like a giveaway. You give away a month. So.
But it's kind of like passing it on.
Coach be doing a lot of giving away. Coach be like Santa.
Yeah, he's a giveaway guy. Yeah. He's a giving guy, but. I really felt like this was an opportunity to give, he's done so much for me, and he wants to give me something, but really I just wanted to show him how much, I appreciate him and his and what he does for us. And of course for him, it's not the money, right? So, I'm hoping that does get him a few new people in the door that, maybe they sign up and then they do really well that first month and then turn around and they buy a VIP down the road and help him out.
That's cool. One person pays it forward. Everybody should. That's awesome. Paying it forward.
That is amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Good job. Good for you, Chris.
Yeah. Now, Don, I'm going to need you to go ahead and send me the 800 I'm not getting. I'm just kidding.
A collection now.
Send me the what?
I said I'm gonna need you to go ahead and send me the
do what now?
800 that I'm not getting. So let me give you my Venmo.
She was gonna give you her Cash App.
Yeah, right. How about you go in the description of the video and click that Cash App.
And little plug there if you're on here. Oh, you want me to share my Cash App? Okay, I'll do that.
Everybody share the Cash App. Everybody.
There you go. I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys, because I gotta do my 90-day fiance stream tonight at 8
Oh
o'clock.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and go grab some fruit, some
You know what's
watermelon,
crazy though?
and hydrate.
I haven't watched
What?
none of the shows. I be calling it,
I
don't
know, but you
I'm
comment
telling
like
you.
crazy.
You know who's doing what? What's going on? I'm gonna try and come on there in a while. I'm going to see my granddaughter right now. Come on.
What about the one guy that
How
got
you on that?
they got one guy that he can't even look in the female's way. I'd be like, damn, he can't even go outside.
Yeah, that's Brandon. That's
He
Brandon.
gotta look straight down in church.
Mary is on him. Right. She said, I don't want you looking at anybody, okay? Look at me or look at the preacher. That's it. He pulled her up after that, though. He was like, look, I can't
He's
live
not
like
even
that.
allowed to have
That's crazy.
sisters or aunties or nothing like that. He lucky he got a
Oh
mom.
my God. Wow.
Right. She's extremely possessive of him because she's been cheated on before. So she takes it out on
If he
him.
goes
You know?
blind one day, you'll know
He
you
gotta-
did something to him.
He gotta have his FaceTime on at
And then
work.
she throws herself into an asthma attack if he tries to talk to her about it and tell her to stop doing it. She's got asthma, so she'll start crying hard enough where she throws herself into an asthma attack and make him go on a guilt trip about it. Oh, I'm sorry.
He
Yeah.
show up at work like, yeah, I gotta bring my wife with me to work for 2 weeks, then I'm gotta FaceTime for another 2 weeks. I'm on probation. He'll be like, what?
Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Chris, thank you for sharing your tales of woe with us, my brother, and as well as your tequila cocktail, whatever it is that you're drinking.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Follow the rules.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, man. Everybody in the chat, and Ralph, thank you. Christina, thank you. Zing came on here.
Mhm.
Cox came in here. He didn't say much, but
He didn't say much?
he
all
came.
right?
He's here.
Is he all right? He didn't say much, she said.
Yeah, I don't know. Linda L, thank you, sweetheart. Eric Smoto down there. Bruno. Who is that? I can't tell who that is at the end.
Nate had came for
But-
a minute, but I don't think he said anything.
He
either.
didn't stay. Well, Nate, we love you anyway, honey. Shout out to you, Coach, because we know at some point you might be listening to the replay of this.
We know you're listening.
Shout out to Lee. Lee came
Oh,
in.
did he?
Definitely. Yeah, Lee came. He didn't come up on the panel, but he came into the chat, which was really cool. I thought maybe Jimmy might show up. You never know. Jimmy may come in here one day. That would be crazy, dude. I'd freak out if that happened.
Oh, Mashulo.
But yeah, Mashulo or Brady or one of them. But yeah, thank you guys. It's been absolutely amazing. As usual, we'll do the same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow, live at 5. John, I see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Miguel, as usual, thank you, my brother. Danny, everybody. Air Twister. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and put this one in the books. Episode 16. And I will catch you guys on the flip side tomorrow.
See you later.
All right.
All right, gang. I didn't see you. What's up, bro? What's up, dude? Did you dip out? Well, my apologies. I did not see you down there in the backstage. So love you. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. He probably already went off.